What is good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another Nintendo Switch and Gaming News video. Today, we have some awesome information for you guys, like always, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Media Create sales from December 25th, 2017 through December 31st, 2017 are finally here. We had a little bit of a break because of the holiday period, but they are back. When it comes to the Media Create group, we got the sales for the Mario Party Top 100, in addition to more Nintendo Switch sales as well. So Mario Party Top 100 for the Nintendo 3DS sold 52,181 units during its first week of release in Japan. The Media Create sales numbers have revealed for the final week of 2017. And shout outs to Gomatsu for the articles. Software wise, Nintendo pretty much dominated the charts. Literally, it was painted with Nintendo when it comes to hardware and software, both of them. The Nintendo Switch and 3DS titles will make up the vast majority of sales, with Super Mario Odyssey moving another 105,051 copies. Splatoon 2 sold another 96,404 copies, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold another 87,356 copies. And another thing to note that with this, guys, in terms of the Japanese sales, none of this is digital as well. So digital sales aren't counted in. Nintendo has pretty much a three-headed monster here with Mario Kart, Splatoon, in addition to Super Mario Odyssey. So on the hardware side, Nintendo Switch once again was the top-selling system that sold 134,519 units, while the PlayStation 4 family of systems sold 49,631 units, and the Nintendo 3DS family sold 36,814 units. And if you look at things, if you just go down the top 20 software sales, pretty much all Nintendo Switch and 3DS. There were two PS4 titles. At number 13 and number 14, there was Yakuza, and there was also Call of Duty, and then everything else was Nintendo Switch or 3DS. But the coolest thing here is that Nintendo Switch took a lot of the spots. So it took number 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 16, 18, 19, and 20. So multiple Nintendo Switch games. And out of all this, we talked about all the big games at the top. Legend of Zelda still there, Pokken Tournament still there, 1-2 Switch is there, ARMS is in there, Dragon Ball Xenoverse is there, One Piece Pirate Warrior 3 Deluxe is in there, Snipper Clips is in there, just so many different games. Even FIFA on the Nintendo Switch was number 16 with almost 10,000 units sold, a little bit over 9,000, so really good numbers for Nintendo. But the one game that I want to just briefly talk about, because I'm really happy that it's continuing to show some legs, is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Nintendo Switch, because this game actually dropped out of the top 20 just for a little bit, but it stayed within the top 25. It was always in the top 25 when it came to the Media Create. We saw that in the top 50 sales charts at the end of the week, and in the Famitsu sales charts, it was always in the top 30, of course, but right now it's actually at number 12, so it's kind of climbed back in there. It sold another 12,779 units for a grand total of 156,717 units, which is really good for a Xenoblade Chronicles game. It's easily going to be the best-selling Xenoblade. It showed the longest legs in terms of the Media Create sales charts and keeping up at least in the top 20 for quite some time, so I'm really happy that Xenoblade continues to sell, and we don't even have digital numbers where it was in the top 20, or it's still in the top 20 pretty much worldwide. Plus, the Xenoblade franchise is always more popular here in the US, so I'm pretty sure the US sales are a lot more than this year. So I'm really happy for Xenoblade, really happy for Monolith Soft, and I think it's cool that people are really out there enjoying the game worldwide. So what do you guys think about these sales charts here? Nintendo Switch selling pretty big. Do want to talk about that just briefly as well. 134,519 units sold for this past week, which is obviously really good. The Nintendo Switch continuing to sell amazingly. We've already heard the sales data out from Sony, 73 million units worldwide. So it's just good to see that there's multiple systems selling well and filling different needs for people. I think a lot of people like the portable play of the Nintendo Switch. Some might even find it a companion to other systems out there as well. So for me, it's my main system. I switch all the time between using the TV in addition to playing lying down at nights after the day's gone by. But whenever I have to do my streaming or anything like that, obviously got to dock it to the TV. So for me, it fits just so well for my lifestyle. Over there in Japan, a lot of people are loving it because it's just dominating the sales charts here when it comes to everything. No system is even selling close to it. So what do you guys think about all the different sales here when it comes to Nintendo Switch, in addition to Xenoblade, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon, Mario Odyssey? All those games are selling ridiculous. I can see why there's shortages when you're selling nearly 100,000 units every single week. That's just insane, especially for Super Mario Odyssey. That game is doing so much better in terms of long-term sales than previous 3D Mario games, with the exception of 3D Land in terms of console Mario games. So what do you guys think about all this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next article here, Nintendo has stated that they have no plans in dropping the Nintendo 3DS for 2018, and this comes to no shock to anyone who can actually do some business, looks at financial reports, and just looks at the logistics of game development. There is absolutely zero reason to drop the Nintendo 3DS, and Tatsumi Kimishima knows this because the 3DS at this point is literally, I wouldn't say free money, but it's the closest thing to free money when it comes to the major big three. Usually when you put out a product, especially a product this old, you're not going to be making much money off of it. You're not really going to be making anything off of it. I think like the PS Vita is an example of that. Obviously Sony has moved on from that system, but the Nintendo 3DS continuously sells really good for how old the system is. 2010, 2011-ish, this system continues to sell 100,000 units every single week worldwide or more. Software continues to sell hundreds of thousands of units over the Christmas period. It sold really well, and on top of that, Nintendo is selling this system for $150 to $200 at the top end. Now you also have the 2DS, which is cheaper, but more people are buying the new Nintendo 2DS XL and also the new Nintendo 3DS XL. So people are buying those systems, and that's anywhere from $150 to $200. Throughout 2017 and 2018, charging that much for that type of product, that is just profit in the bank. I know the manufacturing is nowhere near that for that Nintendo 3DS, considering how old the system is. And it's just one of those things to where if you're a business and you're trying to make as much capital as possible, why are you going to drop this system that people continually buy, software for, and on top of that is a good backwards compatibility tool for DS software as well for retro collectors or would-be retro collectors when DS games really become retro, because it's backwards compatible with Nintendo's best-selling system ever, or best-selling device ever, the Nintendo DS. So to me it makes absolutely no sense to drop it because people are still buying software. Not everyone can afford a Nintendo Switch. And the biggest thing that I see that people say with this is, oh, well, they're taking resources away from Nintendo Switch, or there'd be more games on the Nintendo Switch. And I'm like, no. All of Nintendo's main teams are making Switch games. The people who are making 3DS games are very small development teams. They're not spending a lot on the budget. The budget is all geared towards Nintendo Switch games because there's only so much that you can do in 1 year. You just can't have 5 million teams all working on Switch games to all release that year. You're going to have multiple different development teams, or you're going to contract someone outside to do it. Nintendo is still going to put out a large amount of first-party games, and there's going to be big third-party games, but why not satisfy that 70 million plus install base with a few games here and there from some small development teams, or getting your new staffers antiquated with developing a game, having their own game, having them lead their own team to make a game. We've seen that with Fire Emblem Echoes as far as what Intelligent Systems did with that, with most of the core team working on the new Fire Emblem game on the Nintendo Switch, and some of the other staffers being put in charge, some of the younger guys, to have their own game and see how it does on the market. So to me it makes no sense. Anybody with business sense would not drop the system at all. So that's just kind of how I see it. But what do you guys think about this in terms of what Tatsumi Kimishima says? I personally feel that this is going to go until people seriously just stop buying it. I see Nintendo supporting the Nintendo 3DS at least with a game or two every single year till literally people just stop buying it. I don't see why you wouldn't want to have two revenue streams, which I talked about before the Switch was even revealed, Nintendo wanting to have two revenue streams, and I think that they're just doing it this way. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the final article here, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it's just a trademark, but Nintendo has filed a brand new trademark for 1080 and then 1080 actually spelled out. So the trademark, there's all sorts of trademark numbers, there's the type figurative, there's the order ID number, order. And with Nintendo in the new year and people looking forward to what Nintendo has, people are hoping that Nintendo makes a brand new 1080 game. I think that's what people would want. I remember playing 1080 on the N64 quite a bit, and a little bit on the GameCube in terms of the 1080 game there, but I played the N64 game a lot, and I was horrible at that game. I couldn't do a 1080 in there. I don't think I ever did a 1080 in there. I always fell down and crashed. But either way, I still liked the game as a kid, and I still played it a lot. I think snowboarding is really cool. I used to skate myself, so of course the next thing as far as transferring over would be trying out snowboarding. But I'm horrible at snowboarding. I was actually pretty good at skating. Well, I was decent at skating. I can do a number of tricks, but I was horrible at snowboarding, but that's okay. I still liked it and I thought it was cool. And I always watched the X Games with Shaun White when he would be doing his snowboarding and his stuff and his skateboarding. So I was always into those type of games. Shaun White snowboarding, that was actually one of my favorite games on the Wii. I used the Wii balance board on that too. I got into it. Let me know what you guys think about all the articles that we talked about here in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube live gaming page. Consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. Well, check out the link in the description below. Consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in for the next video. Peace.